PJC Game Studios.
It's finally come back! Forever is forever.
Whoa! What is going on? Well, holy crap! We are back, baby! We are back with a vengeance, of course. And we have many special guests planned for this evening. Some are running late. Some had work emergencies. Mike. Anyways, I'd like to welcome, as a matter of fact, I got to get our, let's see here. We have our display names here. There we go. I knew something was missing.
There you go. What's up?
John Alvarado, the man, the legend, the guy that keeps this flame going. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on today. And right after this announcement, which we'll get into pretty soon. And Mr. Retro Rich, Bacon Ice Cream Productions. It's so great to have you. It's been quite a while.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm trying to think of like the last time we did when I was looking up to see the number of the episode was like 91 was the last one, but it was like over a Christmas ago, so just over a year ago.
Yeah. It's been a long while, man, but it's great. It's great to hang out, man.
Absolutely. Let me catch up to chat because there's a bunch of people here, and
yeah,
Super Mega Graphics 64 just becoming a member. Oh, you know what that means, sir. You know what that means.
Welcome to the Silly Club. Now you're one of us.
Super Mega Graphics also says Zim Zam Zoom.
Zim Zam Zoom.
I don't know where these characters come from. We're not infringing on anybody's copyrights. That's all I know, and that's what I'm sticking to.
That's great.
Uh-oh. Oh, my God. No. No, we've lost him.
That was the greatest.
Where did he go? Did he actually just get cut off like at that exact time? Or did
I think so. Yeah. But you couldn't
that was too. I was like, ah!
There he is.
I thought the NDA was. Oops, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Oh, there
No,
you go. There you go.
You scared me away with that fox, that scary fox.
Okay.
No, actually, I was trying to sign in so I could participate in the chat, but it's giving me trouble.
Going on with let me see. I'm trying to get mine.
Yeah, someone's up with the StreamYard chat.
It's like shrunk down. Is it on like that for you too?
Well, I tried to say hi, and it was like failed to do the thing. I might actually have to go on to the
mine
YouTube
is
channel
shrunk down to like this weird window, and I don't understand why. PJ Smith in the house. Amico is Italian for friend. Well, there you go. And Kablamo. Thanks, Peach. Dashus, welcome. Mr. Michael Hayes. Why is this doing this?
We got this here.
Is literally like StreamYard right now just not wanting to work. Okay, hide current. That was weird.
There we go.
Michael Hayes in the house. He's got on the actual chat.
Oh, the Intellivision controllers. Yeah.
Nolster is in the house, a new Silly Club member. Thank you so much for the support and hanging out.
Welcome to the Silly Club. Now you're one of us.
Just remember, the Silly Club is not a cult, and I do repeat, we are not a cult, but you're one of us now, so just remember that. Here we go. Man, yeah, StreamYard is really kind of messing up. Oh, Kurt was in a. Oh, did you guys have some tornadoes? My goodness.
I'm in now. Yay.
Nice.
The Intellivision gamer. My brother in Intellivision right here. Look at that. Casey in the house this evening.
The Intellivision gamer.
The only Intel. Sean Starlight. We know Atari bought Intellivision. I want to say, does that mean Intellivision Amico is? That does not mean that, sir. That does not mean that. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping Atari does some cool retro stuff with the Intellivision property. Yeah, I saw there was a ton of people. Thank God, Kurt. I'm glad you're doing all right. I hope you got your T-shirt. Kurt won a Zim Zam Zoom T-shirt and awesome. One of my CDs.
That's great.
Brian said, "Oh my goodness, StreamYard is really screwing up. Maybe they're just not used to having so many people watch. You know, probably we're just too popular. Just forever, are we getting? Well, I hope not. But there is plenty of foxes. 68 Camaro, what is going on? Good to see you. Always good to see you. And come on, StreamYard, you can do it. You can do it. Keeps having me come out and come back in. Omicron, welcome. Brian, did I say Brian F? Right. Brian F is here. Hasselhoff, I love your comment, but we're going to be nice to everyone today. No one's getting banned unless they're telling me to F off to my face or something. No one's getting banned. I'm cool with everyone. Hello to the potential.
Omicron's one of my big helpers on Amico Discord and the testing
that's awesome.
group. Yeah.
Yep.
It wouldn't be a DJC stream without a 10-minute delay of game. Fashionably late as always. Luke's awakening. Luke, what's going on? Rocket Worm, better late than never. What is going on? Man of Basic, what is happening? Yeah, there's a bunch of storms. We got pretty much rain this past 2 days, but it hasn't been. We had some storms, pretty bad ones, before. But luckily, you know, we had a tornado that passed over us, but being in the like just out of the city or kind of in like the suburb, we're never going to get any tornado that's going to. We say that, you know, but it can happen out of nowhere. But so far, at least in the 50 years I've been alive, it hasn't been. The worst we get is some shingles, maybe part of a roof or some siding torn off. Luckily, no deaths. You know, there hasn't been anything that bad since like the 30s when there wasn't many buildings around. You know, so.
Wow.
Ignalski, what's up in St. Louis? What is going on, Steven? Good to see you. Metal Torso. Okay, I'm going to have to fix this thing pretty soon. But Metal Torso, what is going on? By the way, you still got to email me at djcgamestudios@gmail for your Zim Zam Zoom shirt you won on the wheel spin the other day.
Nice.
Just went out for cigarettes. He'll be back. Like, Dad.
Oh, no.
I came back, guys. Christy, what is going on? Good to see you. I'm trying to pull you up here. It's StreamYard's having like a fit right now. Bride of Inti Lab reporting in. Great game programmer. Television Gamer says, whoop, dang it. Television Gamer says, that mustache. It's legendary. Killer, what's going on, dude? Good to see you. that must have been right when you went out.
Yeah.
Tell Zim I hate him. Well,
No.
The bartender's he's got issues. All right, I gotta catch up here. Michael Hayes says, I was a fan of Interplay since the mid-1990s. I still remember the pick of the Interplay guys at the end of the Nintendo Power magazine. I think it was when the Lost Vikings was being released.
Nice.
All right, going through.
There's something about that Lost Vikings.
Killer did it right here. He said tacos.
Did somebody say taco?
That was, I don't.
I think that put me off of tacos for a while.
What's that?
Riot Noob, what's going on?
That's great.
What big Black Plymouth in the house, dude? I'm loving the faces we're seeing here.
Yeah, man.
Hey, it's the original Next Level Gaming. Hey guys, sorry I can't be there live. Still stuck working. Not a good thing at the moment. I'm sorry. I hope everything gets going. Yeah, and everything gets to be okay over there. Yeah, I forgot. We're also live on Rumble. Let's see. Rickster in the house. Tacos for everyone. That is true, sir. That is true. Did somebody say taco? Oh man, everybody. Okay, one last time.
Did somebody say taco?
Okay, I'm gonna scroll. Oh my goodness. Stephen Harvey, sir.
Wow.
Stop doing that, sir. Stop doing that. God bless you, man. That's very nice of you. Stephen or Agnalski or whoever his many different names, has been such a good supporter of the channel, and I quite appreciate you, man. You don't have to do that. You always know that the fact that you show up and watch is enough, but thank you. God bless you, sir. Because forever is forever, and race car spelled backwards is race car. And he says, and hot dogs ×2. Well,
oh, wow.
Hot dog! Hot dog! It's a crazy thing. John, did you see my the hot dog dance for Burger Time?
That's great.
Where do you get these spots?
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to
I want to know that too.
That's totally a hot dog. It's not me. It's obviously just a hot dog with mustard. Johnny Graphics. If you guys have not subscribed to Johnny Graphics, I am on House of Hue Cards podcast. I believe the new one is coming out soon or is out. But There's other episodes already up. I was on the very first one. And they have a few out. But check out Johnny Graphics if you love turbo graphics, 16-bit fun action as I do. Please check out Johnny Graphics. Great channel. Great channel.
I just finally got my hands on one of those.
I didn't see you in the spam, Metal, but I will check again because I know that happened to Kurt too. I don't know if it's my email maybe going on. Josh says, I love you guys. Thank you, sir. Omicron. Last year, lost power for a week. Huge branches down. My telephone pole blocking my driveway. Hurricane Milton.
Oh,
ouch.
That's rough, man.
First time commenter, long time listener, King Herp Derp. What's going on? Okay, everybody's talking, I think. Roger, what's going on? Lost Vikings on Switch is 3 players. Screen scroll still sucks, though. All right. Beer. This is the wrong show, sir. We don't beer slam on Amico forever. That's an Astro smashed. And it's only when I try to beat the Intellivision Gamer score on Beauty and the Beast Pro, and when I try to get there, he keeps buying me shots and buying me beers, and then next thing you know, I have to end the show and go cook a bunch of food. It doesn't help with my figure or anything.
That's a good time though.
Yes, we are going to be talking about the new announcement. Sorry, I'm just getting through you guys. I knew that's why he left. Code man, why isn't it highlighting? Here we go. Thank you, Code Masur from Georgia, USA. Are we getting Ring King on Amico? Oh, no, I don't think that is not allowed, sir, because they have weird cutscenes. Yeah, it's just they're just they say they're hyping up the boxers. I don't. It's just really weird. Austin Gilson, what is going on? We got a full house here, guys. We got about 60 in chat right now.
Nice.
Yes, Rick, please. Yeah, please be safe, man. These storms are pretty crazy, especially through the middle of the country. So,
yep.
Just please stay safe. And yeah, Rich knows that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, please. Salvador, what is happening? What is this Amico you speak of? Well, we're going to tell you, sir.
Oh,
OG Hugo, by the way, guys.
Pork Belly says I'm a bad person.
Wait, who does?
Pork Belly.
Pork Belly.
I for what I did, I'm a bad person. No,
So,
that's too bad.
OG Hugo, if you guys go to oghugo.com and use code DJC, you can get one of these platforming controllers with a full keypad for your Intellivision 2 or Sears classic video game system. Look at that.
That's pretty cool.
And a really good price, too. And then they're built very well.
Nice.
So please support OG Hugo. Another great channel supporter.
Yeah.
Mega Dan, all you guys, hey, everybody's in here today. Mega Dan, the king of no death runs and just game completion, dude. Like I wish I was good as you at games. I enjoy them. I'm just not that great. All right, I think I'm caught up. Whoops, I got to just get rid of that. There we go. All right, let's get into some stuff here. God, this chat or the chat window is like keeps creeping to where it like went like this and it goes like this and it stops and then it covers up where you can't click on the next comment and you got to like back out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a video, Rickster, on my channel. Just look, you'll see it'll be all about that, and it has that info in there. But yeah, I can put it on there, or Hugo can put it in there too. And then we'll get back on topic here. Oh, Michael Hayes does bring up a great point. What cat fighter? We're actually going to get into that. Cat fighter! And there it is, oghugo.com. There you go. So anyways, talk amongst yourself, come up with good topics. So John, you guys just dropped an announcement and a little bit of the roadmap. So I know we have it actually, I think right here.
Yes.
That's on Rich's side. So yeah. So pretty much what are we talking here about? What was the announcement all about? Do we want to kind of go through and you read it here or?
Sure. I think the biggest part of the announcement that was probably least expected was that we are putting some of the games on Switch, which you can see there, leaping to new platforms. Yes. Steam was sort of we tipped our hand on that because we posted those games as coming soon, quite a while ago, a few weeks ago on Steam. I didn't mention it on the Amico Discord. That's not well that people discover it, but it was there and some people noticed. So people thought the announcement would be about that, which it was, but also about Switch. So that's kind of the big news.
That is huge. So you're about to be able to play Evel Knievel and Finnegan Fox on either your Nintendo Switch or your Steam.
Yep.
And Cornhole.
Which is everyone's favorite. It's mine.
Cornhole's on Switch. Not on
I love that game. And Dart Frenzy.
And the other big news in the announcement, people kind of were expecting, because we've talked about it on the Amico Discord, that we've launched on Apple TV. With
that is huge.
First 5 games, yeah. So that has been a big goal of ours for a while now, and sort of completes the support that we wanted to have for streaming devices hitting the major ones. The Amazon devices, Android, right. Google, and now Apple TV.
Yeah, yeah, Finnegan. So I've been playing a lot of Finnegan Fox lately, and I had it on the Amico pilot unit, but yeah, Rocket Room. You're right. It's really gives you. It's like you're playing a little cartoon, and I've seen Fox and Forest. I think that looks like a fantastic game, but this was such a it's such a sharper image and a more balanced gameplay, I guess. And you know me, I'm terrible at games, and this made it made things a lot more fun. And there's so many so much cool animation, and just the art just is so, especially on those huge bosses, man. Like the boss fights are so epic in that game. So that it becomes to the point where I just really I adore that game. That's one, and I do love the simple games like Cornhole. Like last Easter, when the Amico Home first put out the thing, me and my cousins were down here on my big screen, and we were just, and they asked me this year, but we were doing other stuff. They're like, "Can we go down there and fire up that cornhole game, the digital cornhole? It's too cold out." And like, we can play a digital cornhole game.
Yeah,
I was like, maybe soon. But so it's kind of cool they remembered that. So
yeah, we play that in Studio B. Play some cornhole and Dart Frenzy in Studio B because we've had most of those streaming devices we have available over in the office. So it's cool to just be able to fire those up and play. And then people just come randomly just come walking in through the office when we're on break or whatever, and we see it and they see it and we're like, "What's this?" And it's like, "Yeah, man, check this out." They just hand them a phone and be like, "What is going on?" But it's really cool. It's really cool to see them kind of take to it, which is really neat. So
yeah, no, it's really fun. The whole thing about this is a group setting. The group setting is great. So it's showing here. So you guys, obviously, huge win is the Apple TV. Now, So you can also Amazon Fire TV, the 4K, the Amazon Fire 6 4K Max and the Fire TV Cube, I believe, is a really great way to pull this app up and play, and have that be your console. And then another one was On TV. That was the Walmart On TV brand too.
Right.
Yeah.
The new one is supposed to be pretty good. The original one they had before was a little slow on some of the games, like on Astro Smash, although I did add some features to try to allow the user to reduce particles and things like that to improve performance. But the new one, which I just got today, according to one of the volunteer testers on the Amico Discord, it should play the games very well with the new processor it has in it. But I haven't tried it yet. I just got it today.
Nice.
That's like $30 or $39, or I think it's $29 actually. So it's $30. It's a good deal.
Yeah, I got a good deal on a 4K Max Amazon Fire Stick, like I don't know if it was like one of the Cyber Monday deals or whatever. So there's always good ways to pull this up and into play. Now as far as for the so I gotta ask you about the Discord, and I think I went in there like a couple times, but I've been so busy and I have not gotten in there. So about do people see a lot of news coming to the Amico Discord first? And tell us kind of a little bit about the Discord.
Yeah, sometimes I do mention things on there before they appear on announcements, like the stuff we were doing on Apple TV, mostly to do with the games. When we start working on new games, it generally comes out on the Discord first. Certainly the volunteer testing group on there knows about it because they're helping to test those games. But then I'll usually mention it, or it'll appear on the roadmap as a future game. So some of those things, like the games, and then I did talk about Apple TV, that we're working on it, and that people are testing the games, and so that it was coming soon. So some things like that. I mean, the only thing that we didn't mention was the Switch, that we were kind of keeping that under the hood until it was ready to be announced formally. But yeah, for the most part, it's more about the games, and people getting information about that kind of ahead of time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I want to take the moment though, just to I mentioned the volunteer tester group, and those are people that we have kind of a separate channel where we talk about that stuff, and they've been super helpful in getting these games onto Amico Home and testing them and helping us find issues and making suggestions for improvements, which we've been able to do a lot of those. some really great ideas. And it's been a great support for me to have those people to talk to on a daily basis and bounce ideas off of. So I really appreciate those guys. And there's, it's a decent sized group, but there are a few people that really stand out that I just want to give them a shout out, if you don't mind. You have a little list here. One of the guys who's like super technical. I mean, he could be a professional game tester for sure. I mean, he does a lot of engineering type level stuff, and he's helped a lot. William Barrick, he's play tested all the games, and he's done analysis of the controller communication stuff, and discovered some things that I'm going to be using to help improve that system in the near future here. There's a Roger Garstang. He's one of the guys that has been trying everything, especially on Apple TV lately. He's great. There are a couple people I didn't get their permission. They didn't answer back yet whether I could say their names. So I'll just have to kind of just say there's another guy who's just a machine and has been testing all the games, and it contributed to the games, especially Finnegan Fox, and he'll know who I'm talking about. And Omicron, he's in the chat. He's been great. He's part of the tester group and has offered a lot of great suggestions on different things. And of course, there's Rich Haywood. Right there. He especially on Evel Knievel, he had a lot of great suggestions on that, and was key to us getting some of the features back in that were on mobile before, that we had cut out originally on the Amico version, but then we brought them back from Amico Home, which is like the retry and the super speed.
Those are the best
power-ups. Yeah.
It makes it so much fun.
Yeah. So I'm always looking for what we can do to make the games better, and not just fixing bugs, but actually gameplay type features.
Yeah.
So it's super helpful to have this community on Amico Discord, which plays the games and gives us ideas, especially the testing group, because they get to test early on before it gets published, and so help us polish those products before they get out to everybody. So I really appreciate them, and just wanted to give them a shout out.
Yeah, awesome.
That is awesome, man. I do have to get in there a little bit more, and I do have a mirror box capture, so I can, which Rich actually suggested, and I got a while ago, and I still have not plugged in my Amico Home because I can basically mirror Amico Home and actually play it on the channel.
Mirrorbox is awesome because
it is. It's such a nice. I mean, I've used it with my classic and television and Atari, but I mean, like to actually play with something 4K, it would be pretty awesome.
Yep. Well, the reason why it's so cool is because a lot of those external capture boxes, if you get the like the brand name ones, they use the HDCP, and it like the Amazon devices and Apple don't like it when you connect it to a capture device, because like, not that we're trying to stream whatever the TV stuff is, but that's what the protection's there for. So just trying to capture the Amico Home stuff off of these devices, you have to have something that doesn't that doesn't allow that HDCP to go through, and the mirror boxes work flawlessly. It's great.
Yeah, so we
can actually capture. It's great.
Everybody keeps talking about when are you going to play some freaking new Astro Smash, or play like cornhole, or play something, do you have them? Like, I do. I have them out there, and it takes me 5 minutes to unplug it and plug it in here. I will. I promise you I will.
Well, and the same thing, I actually addressed it on I did a news line about the thing that we were just talking about with the news yesterday, and I mentioned the same thing. What's up, Kraz? Oh man, Kraz is awesome. Massive VCS publisher, getting games out there out the yin yang on VCS. Great to see you, man. But anyway, I in the same way. I mean, obviously I've been helping out with John and everybody else. And he's absolutely right. The testing community is something else. It's great. They have a bunch of great guys there doing awesome work, which is really, really cool. But I wanted to do some of the sharing and stuff. Hey, let's do fun for fives and get some stuff out there. But I was waiting for this because my system of choice is Apple TV. It works so well and it looks so good. And I'm like, well, I can't show that because it's not announced yet. So, but now that it is, the foot goes to the floor. and we're going to be doing Fun for Fives and live streams and all that kind of stuff. So it look forward to that, because it'll be really cool, because now it can do all that stuff and then just grab people into the office and start playing, which is going to be fun. So it'll be really, really cool.
Nice.
So hey, let's keep talking about just in the Discord. Briefly, I just want to ask, you did answer a question about emails that were sent out. Did you want to touch on that real quick on what was in the Discord about refund dates?
Oh yeah. So before I get to that, let me just kind of frame things a little bit for people, because there were some comments here in this chat that people are pretty upset about what happened with Amico and the console not coming out on time and all that. And at a certain point, not that long ago, I started dealing with the support tickets because it had been neglected. When we were down to a skeleton crew and one person was doing it and that person left. And so there's a huge backlog of tickets, and a lot of them are pretty negative, people just venting, and rightly so, because they've been disappointed, in their expectations, and a lot of them are really accusing us of trying to scam people and that it was never real and things like that. You guys have heard that narrative before.
Oh yeah, a million times, yeah.
So I just wanted to explain that, we started this company to make this console and on this mission to bring family together. And we had every hope and expectation to succeed. Now, we were biting off a huge piece because making a new console is a huge endeavor. So we knew it was a high risk, but we were, willing to try to make it happen. And things didn't go as we planned. Things took a lot longer than we expected. And ultimately, the company ran out of money before it could manufacture the console. Our last fundraiser that we tried to do to get the money we would need to manufacture, crashed and burned. It didn't work out. There were a lot of people naysaying it and naysaying us at the time, so that affected it. But ultimately, when that closed down, that really cut us off at the knees. So we continued. That was like a 2022, I think, early, maybe March, something like that. And we continued on. We had to pretty soon lay off a lot of people right after that, and we still had enough people though that we went on and created the pilot units that we sent out to a lot of people. For testing, just to show these things really work. They're real. We sent it to people outside of the company, and you received one, Chuck and Mike Mullis and several other people, to show that it was real. We had it. It's something that we could manufacture if we had the money, but we didn't have the money anymore. And we were hoping that doing that would allow us to kind of pull in some investment, someone that would be interested and say, okay, yeah, let's make this. But that didn't happen. So after a while, we had to basically lay off everybody, including me,
No.
So,
Yeah, I know. And a lot of times you were working for free trying to just keep it going.
Well, exactly. So at that point, we could have just packed it in and said, well, we tried, we failed, we'll declare bankruptcy, and that would have been the end. And nobody would have gotten any refunds back. No one would have gotten a console. No one would have ever played the games. But a handful of us, including me, decided that we want to try to keep this alive. And we're willing to work for free for a while to at least try out this other idea. Well, let's get these games out as software on other platforms and see if we can leverage the work that we've done on the games to create some revenue and keep going and try to, repair the company to the point where we could then start generating money and maybe attract some investment and get back to the goal of creating the console. And so we were doing that, and then we eventually sold some IPs, including the Intellivision brand, which was a huge one.
The classic, yeah.
To get some money to kind of keep us alive as we're going, because you can't work for free forever. But taking very little pay to keep going and try to keep the dream alive, and that's what we've been doing. So while I understand people's frustrations, it's also frustrating for me personally to receive those comments when I'm the person trying to make sure that everybody gets either their refund or their console, hopefully the latter, right? And so, but I understand, and I try, like, every time we do an announcement, we get a lot of emails of a few good comments, but a lot of negative comments, and I'm trying to answer those as best I can and try to help people understand the situation and why I'm trying to work for them. I'm not their enemy, So as I mentioned, being down to a skeleton crew, I had to take over the support tickets, and there were a lot of them. There were so many, and sometimes people, when you stop answering support tickets, people send them multiple times saying, "Answer me, why haven't you answered me?" So
Yeah.
it
Like,
was
what the hell?
multiplied even. So I needed, in order to, I also took over handling the refunds. So in order to try to give people an idea of when they might get the refund, I need to know how many refund requests there are, because the people that asked earlier are first in line. And I was answering new tickets, but I couldn't really give them an estimate of when theirs would happen, because there was still a bunch I hadn't processed in the backlog. So I decided to write a program that would use AI to go through all the tickets, pull them down from our customer service website, and then have the AI analyze the ticket to tell me, kind of categorize it. Is this someone asking for a refund, or is it someone asking for, or is it spam? That was the other big, because we get so much
Right.
spam, and just going through the spam and trying to find the real people is a chore. Is it just spam, or is it some other kind of question actually related to Amico? And classify them. And then if it is a request for refund, try to pull out information I need to find their pre-order programmatically. Like, did they mention an order number, what's their last name, what's their email, and put it into a structure that I get back from the AI. And so once it goes through all those, then I have them all in order from oldest to newest, and I can go through all the requests for refund, try to find, now this part is programmatic, it's not AI, try to find their order in the database, and then generate an email, again, just programmatically generate an email to them saying their order is added to the queue, and add it to the queue. And then what I did was have the program also calculate, based on their position in the queue, when the best estimate of when they would get the refund based on our current rate of refunds, which is not very high because we have very little cash flow. We're being very conservative right now. So we are issuing refunds, but it's at a low rate, honestly.
Because it's based on the income.
It's what we can sustain right now. But we do expect that to improve as we generate more income. And I mentioned that in the emails. But unfortunately, some people that are at the end of the queue got some dates that were really far out there, and that were quite shocking, frankly. So that's what happened. And I explained that on the Discord, because some people asked, even though we actually have rules about not asking about refunds and not asking about future business, and just look on the roadmap if you want to know about what's coming in the future, because I like to keep the conversation focused on the current product,
and it gets a little
feedback.
heated. Yeah.
But I felt like that was a fair question, and it really deserved an answer. So I did basically give the explanation I just gave to you. So all estimates of when you'll get refund are just estimates, and it's going to change because it's going to vary from month to month how much we can allocate for refunds. But it is my goal to keep the company live and keep it growing and improving, so that we can get everyone their refund, and for the people that are willing to hang on, get them their consoles. So that's my goal. That's the goal of Phil Adam and Tommy and Jason Enos and a few of the people that we have employed still that are helping us with the engineering on Amico Home and all that. That's our goal. And we are on your side. We're not your enemy if you have a refund that's late or you're waiting for a console. So I appreciate the frustration you're going through if you're one of those people, and I appreciate the support that you've given us. And I just hope you will understand what the situation is, and hopefully give us some grace so that we can just keep going and try to build this company up to where we can achieve the goal.
That is the whole reason, people can always like yell at me or cuss me out or say nasty things in the comments, whatever. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I just like people to be a little more understand. And when I say understanding, you gotta remember, I've invested into this. I've got 2-3 consoles on order. I want the console. For me to even say give up or stop showing support, I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot, because I want something to come out. So I do appreciate what you're doing and keeping, like I said earlier, you're keeping the flame going, man, because you could have just packed it up and said, I got a million other things I could do. I don't need to keep this up. And the fact that you're helping to keep this going, possibly, letting people play all these games on other platforms, like you were saying, Steam, Nintendo, Apple TV, Fire TV, On TV, to be able to get people to experience the games and then get some revenue, and then then eventually get people that did order founders or need refunds that going. Because instead of just, like you said, filing for bankruptcy and saying forget it and nobody gets anything, that's why I still support, and people keep asking me, well, why do you keep supporting them? Why does it? Because I'm one of you guys. I'm one of the guys that put in and wants a console and wants to see something come of this. You don't want it to just bloop and go be done and fold up, and then you were like, well, that was for nothing, and so
Yeah.
Especially people that have multiple deposits or multiple investments into this, they do not want to see this fail. The normal people do not want to see their investment fail,
Exactly.
So once again, just know, and people out there, and I don't care if you don't like it or don't like the idea of it, or that wasn't the thing. It's just don't be nasty to me. The reason I'm supporting this because of all the people out there that put a deposit down. That's why I support it.
Yeah. Well,
but anyways,
I mean, and Chuck, I kind of feel the same way. From the get-go, for the the entire beginning of the project, and I came into it on a slightly different angle. I thought the idea of the console was kind of cool. I thought the idea of the hardware was really kind of like neat and refreshing. But I saw the games as things that I was like, man, I cannot wait to share all of these experiences with my family and my friends, because I think my family and friends are going to love all of these things, and they do. So, to be like even a little bit of a part of, the process of getting the games, to people, like anything I can do to make that happen, I'm ready to rock on that, because, I understand that the games are fun. They're cool to play. They're interesting. They're like, they're different in ways that, like some of these games you get, that you don't find these kind of things and these kind of experiences anymore, because some of the developers are actually like kind of like redesigning these games with a vision of the things that were like in the zeitgeist in the past, right? And they're bringing them forward in a new and cool way. Like that's why I'm interested in all of these things.
Me too. I'm a guy right now that plays pixelated games. I play Atari and Intellivision.
Right.
I'm a huge TurboGrafx fan, but that's a different thing. But I'm always buying Intellivision stuff, Intellivision homebrews, the local classic community, and everybody can can literally joke about this.
My jaw's hitting the ground.
What I really meant was like, for a game system that came out in the 70s that had pixelated stuff that I'm still playing. Yeah, I expected kind of the same thing. And when you see a game like Finnegan Fox or like Astro Smash, to the new gamer, you're like, oh, that's just a mobile game, or that's just this type of game. It's just anybody can make that. It's like, but no, it was special to me because it was IPs that I was familiar with and I really loved.
Right.
And they're being remade, but they're still keeping it simple. And I really liked that idea. So the retro fan in me really got it. And then when I got to know the guys, Tommy included, John and Phil and everyone, and everybody was so nice and so just passionate about this project. And I know all the trash that's talked about it, and not to get into this because I don't want to get it too long, but
yeah.
I don't like it because I wish people saw that you guys really, really wanted this, and you still really want this, and you do not want it to die.
Well, and
I'll always support because of that. And if people hate me for that, that's fine. That is absolutely fine, dude. I'm still gonna play my games and talk about old pixelated stuff and whatever, and mirror Amico home on my Amazon Fire Stick. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah. No, and I'm right there with you. But the fascinating thing about this story, right, is the fact that, even though there's been all this adversity and and to be quite honest, like opportunity after opportunity after opportunity for the door to just close, right? Just being dead honest, right?
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities where a lot of different people would have seen all of these things coming down the hill and be like, well, that's it. And then the story becomes, you never get the games. People never get to play them. They never get to share the experiences. They never get to do anything. But to have now all these games on all these different platforms right now that people can go and share today, I think that's cool. And that's another reason why I'm like, hey, it's great. It's great to be able to continue to do that.
And
Heck,
one thing I want to mention as
why
well
not?
is that I want to mention that we have not put any marketing money into promoting these games yet, and what we are doing now with putting them on Steam and on Switch, we have reserved a marketing fund to start when they're out on those platforms, and that marketing will include for Amico Home. So I'm really hopeful that will get the word out to a lot of people who will enjoy these games, and they're going to be available on all these platforms, and that it will really take off. And that's the hope. And from there, if it does take off in a strong way, then we're on our path, on our phase plan to get to manufacturing controllers and consoles.
Mm. Yeah.
Speaking of Rab, do you have your mic off for a reason? I didn't want to turn it on and you trying to be private, but I know we've been talking for a bit.
Hi, Rab.
Yeah. What's up?
Let me try to unmute him. Oh, there he is.
Oh, I'm in. Hi.
Yeah, what's up, man?
You've been in for the whole for like the last 20 minutes. I was like, but maybe he's got the kids. Or
It says
something.
no, it said on my screen that I'm waiting. Sorry.
No, you've been on the whole time.
It's been forever since we've done this.
Yeah.
Hi, room. ASL. I don't remember what to do.
Yeah, ASL 86 location. I remember that. AOL chat rooms.
How are you guys? It's good to be on.
Yeah, it's good to have you, man. It's like a reunion.
Better for half the room, though. So careful what you wish for.
Rab is a little faint. Are you guys hearing him well? He's a little faint. His audio.
You might want to turn up a little bit, Rab, if you can.
Yeah. How is this? Better?
I can hear you.
I can hear you. It's a little low, but I can still hear you.
All right. I'm going to try not to scream at you guys.
Yeah.
You're good.
So
anyway,
how you been,
apologize. Good. Yeah.
Do you have any burning questions for us, Rab?
No, not really.
Well, then that's great. Well, that's the show. No, I'm just joking.
All right, I'm glad I can come on and answer those no questions.
Yeah, we got Mike coming in soon as well.
That's cool.
Hold on. I guess I didn't send it to the right. Hold on. Let me. He's trying to get in.
So, John, I heard that you guys have a marketing budget put aside for this. So, do you have a target? Your target audience in mind is going to be a lot smaller with your mobile games than it would have been with a physical product on the shelf. Have you guys kind of readjusted how you're looking to communicate with that new audience? I mean,
well, I'm not involved intimately in that part of what we're doing. We have engaged a marketing company that's helping us, and Tommy is primarily spearheading that with the marketing company. We do want to have something that's more direct targeted advertising. He's mentioned that, like targeting the groups or the areas that are our target audience, basically, families, young families. That's kind of all I know about it. I might, maybe if I come on again, I might have more info later, but that's set to start next month. So you'll be able to see it in the wild for what it is. If you have ideas, I would love to hear them. If you want to communicate with us offline about that. I really respect your knowledge and perspective on these things. So would love to hear any suggestions you have for sure. I've had some people recommend like reaching out to like family focused groups, whether some religious and some otherwise, and some people mentioned they have connections. So there's some grassroots stuff we'll be trying to do, just kind of direct reaching out to people and organizations that we think would be interested in this product. But that's separate from like
I guess that's kind of talking what Code's asking right here. Any attempts of getting acquired with someone like a Sony or Nintendo to either acquire or build.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a potential kind of a ultimate exit strategy, right? You either go public or you get acquired by somebody if your company is doing well. And ultimately that could happen. I see this company as something that would get acquired versus going public, but we'll see. We've got to take first steps first and get to a healthy position of profitability, then get the hardware out, and at that point decide what's next. Do we look to get acquired, or do we just keep steamrolling ahead?
Yeah. I'm just hoping that you guys can get,
there's a lot of buckets to fill. You've got to, finish the physical.
Yeah, I'm just hoping you guys can get enough to just, get out a console for maybe the founders and people that had deposits, and because that's really what it's about at this point, is just kind of getting that out. Hey, and if that comes out and all of a sudden it takes off, and that's great. Let's make some more games. But even having a lot of your guys' games on the other stuff that's coming out, so that's something, man. That really is something to say that this is still alive,
Mm-hmm.
Mike should be coming in. I sent him 2 links already.
So I see a comment. Someone's asking about, is Tommy involved with the marketing company? Tommy had been very involved in marketing the company and being kind of the face of the company for a long time. And until we started having problems, and he started getting a lot of negative feedback from the online community.
Yeah.
And for a while he had to take a leave of absence. He kind of went through, and it was not too long after we were having all these troubles and having to lay people off that his father became very ill and then passed away. And Tommy went through a really difficult time then, and frankly a period of depression where he was struggling, and his marriage was in trouble, and they split up for a little while, and so he was in a dark way. But something that his father told him in his final days was kind of the key to him getting out of that. And he's mentioned this story, so I feel okay sharing it as well. He's talked about this publicly, but in his dad's last days when he was in hospice there in Tommy's home, he couldn't get out of bed, so Tommy would play backgammon with him at the bedside and talk with him. And his dad was trying to give him words of encouragement and advice in his last days, and was telling him how proud he is of him, and that he believes in him and believes that he can do anything he focuses his mind on. And he said, for example, this game we're playing here, if you wanted to become the world backgammon champion, I think you could do it if you set your mind to it.
Yeah.
So later, when he was really struggling to figure out why, what is my purpose, and why should I get up today or get up tomorrow or do anything, that kind of came back to him, and he started playing backgammon, just with an app and stuff, and trying to improve his game. And eventually he decided to join a local club, which happened to be a very good club with a lot of world-class players in it. And they really took him in and treated him very well. And he started getting better, started taking lessons, and started doing tournaments, and was winning and was getting better and better. And it ultimately culminated in him going to this world championship tournament in Monaco.
Yeah.
And he was in the division just below pro. Like, you kind of climb the divisions. You start out kind of novice and you go up. And he was already at the division just below pro after just a few tournaments. And it was a world championship for that division. And he ended up winning and sort of fulfilling what his father had said. And that was a huge, huge moment for him. And after that, they kicked him up into the pro level. Now he's now in the pro level, because they said you reached kind of the top of that division. And so he's continued to play in tournaments and has won trophies in the pro level. He won a trophy in Las Vegas recently at a tournament where he lost an early game and got into the consolation division and ended up winning there. So he got a trophy. So he's like one of the most trophy winning guys for the number of tournaments that he's actually been in. It's pretty incredible. But that just goes to show his level of focus and commitment when he commits to something. And his commitment to the company was so huge. He's a workaholic, and he would just be working all the time to try to figure out how we could succeed, how we could solve the issues we're having. That, of course, put a strain on his marriage, and that's a reason why they split up. But they're back together now.
Yeah.
They're happily married, and he's doing so much better now. He's very involved in the company. After he started doing better, he started getting involved again, and he's very involved now, and I'm happy to have him back. I really missed him while he was gone.
That's good.
But yeah, and it's just like, again, it's just sad how much negativity was thrown at him that didn't help when in those low times. And
Everything
even stuff
kinda
going to
happened,
his
yeah.
even stuff going to his family and to his wife, and people harassing her, and especially when they found out they'd split, they were trying to get her to give them dirt on Tommy, figuring she'd be maybe vindictive or something, but she's not that kind of person at all. She's like the most kind-hearted spirit and lovely person you'd ever want to meet. Very sweet lady, and but they would still, she gets messages all the time, people harassing her, and it's just such a shame.
Yeah.
But he's doing so much better now, and they're together, and I'm really happy for him. He changed some priorities in his life to make sure he's taking care of his marriage and his family life, and that's great. I love to see that.
Yeah.
Because it takes work. I mean, and if you guys are married, it takes work. You can't just take it for granted. I've been married over 30 years. It'll be 34 years this September, and yeah, you got to be careful not to put too much of yourself into work, although that's what brings home the bacon to feed your family and all that, and provide for your family, so it often feels justified. But you've got to have some priorities where you devote the work and the time that's needed for your wife and your kids. So I'm happy to see Tommy doing better in that way, and yes, he's very involved, and he's involved in a lot of it, but he's in particular, as I mentioned, he's the point man for the marketing stuff that we're doing with an external company.
No, that's awesome, man. And I've kept in touch, over the last couple of years, and it's I've seen a couple video games live shows, which is always fun, and
yeah,
I've seen him. He's doing so much better, and it's he went through a rough time where everything hit him at once, including all this Amico stuff,
and his health was bad too. He went through a bad health at that
very
very
bad
time.
health
He was having a
going
bad
on.
health issue,
Yeah.
but he's recovered from that as well. So it was a lot, and I'm glad to see him doing well now.
Yeah, and I just can't wait to just see him get back at it, and I'm really pushing for you guys to make something of what happened, kind of dust off and get back up. You get knocked down, you got to get back up, dust yourself off, and keep the flame going. A million other whatever you can call it that I've said over the hour, but that's the whole reason I support and always have, is because I know you guys, and I know you
Hi,
guys
Mike.
people.
I didn't notice
Mike's
you come
here.
in while I was talking, telling the story.
I was just
Yeah.
hanging. It's been way too long, gentlemen.
Yes.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, you too, John. We were talking about. Unfortunately, I was listening in the background while I was trying to finish up in a work emergency that just had my attention. Unfortunately, IT is 24/7 sometimes. So
Sure is.
it was, but knock on wood, everything's okay with client. And so
Cool.
I noticed you guys weren't too far into this. So I wanted to
Glad you could
jump
join
in.
us.
Yeah. Well,
sure.
I
I mentioned earlier, I was talking about the testers that have been helping us. And, prior to that, on the pilot units, you guys, especially Mike and his kids, were so good at finding issues and then making recommendations about gameplay, which got into some of the games.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just acknowledge you again
I'll
for
tell
that.
you, Spencer was so the biggest one, honest to goodness, because that's how his mind thinks as a 10-year-old. His biggest thing was Shark, which moving the name when you got up to the score. And that was well. The other one was when you came back from being a skeleton too close, or you popped up on the screen somewhere.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, that's not right. And
Right.
I said, all right, well, I got to fix
That was
that.
a bug. Yeah.
I mean, those are and it's funny because I still use that and cornhole in our channel trailer over Rumble, because those are
Cool.
Those are significantly fun things that the kids still like to play. My oldest getting ready to come home from his second year at college.
Wow.
And he was texting me the other day, and he said, we got to do a Saturday afternoon Amico stream soon. He's 20 years old and he still wants to play with us. I mean, that's
Nice.
That's always been the kind of the allure of this. So if you grant me a second, because I've had some pent up, I've had some pent up stuff, and I'm not. Hello to everybody. This is a rare YouTube sighting for me. I don't use YouTube anymore. I basically left because of this, not because of you guys, of course, but because some of those people who are probably watching, like you, Chuck, they hate me because I am holding on to supporting Amico and what Amico is about as a father of more than anything. I mean, I love playing the stuff, but as a dad, and so go after me and it's I have friends that are like, come on, it can't be that bad, and I'm like, dude, put my name in a YouTube search and you'll see some of the most vile stuff that has been over a video game console, and they've gone after my kids, which is what really drove me off of the platform, was went after my kids for the crime of really having fun playing cornhole and really having fun playing Shark and really having fun the 3 or 4 of us playing Astro Smash. And so I've kind of been in kind of background mode, just kind of watching, and to be honest, I'm team console. You guys all know that. I'm not telling anybody they don't know. I have a Samsung phone, so I can't use Amico Home effectively right now. And I'm waiting, for the hardware controllers to be compatible. And then, home would be a great way to travel with the Amico without having to put my console in the bag and haul it around. But I and Peter, I can speak for Peter because we talked about this last night on our stream. We were encouraged by the idea that perhaps getting these games over on Switch, over on Steam, on Mac. A couple of them are on Mac. I think Evel Knievel and Finnegan Fox are also Mac, right?
Not Finnegan, just Evel Knievel.
Not Finnegan, right?
Knievel,
Evel Knievel is Mac.
Yeah, getting
the revenue needed to put some of the consoles out, and this is really weird. We were talking about this last night. More so now than in the last few years. If you can pull that off, the actual market is more ripe for it today than it was even in 2019, 2020. If you look across the video game spectrum right now, and I know Rich, you know this. I know Rab, you've watched this. And I know Chuck, you're not into the newer consoles. Microsoft just raised the price of both of their consoles, the Xbox Series X and S, the one that was supposed to be the closest price to what Amico was going to probably end up. They just jacked the price of their consoles up in a generation. I've been covering video games since the 90s. I have never seen in my life a generation where console prices went up rather than down. On Sony's side, they made it clear, and they made this clear a couple of years ago at their investor meeting, they're not dropping the price of the PlayStation 5, and then they bring out a PlayStation 5 Pro, which is almost $800. The Switch 2, yes, there is some of that Nintendo, the hardcore Nintendo fans are really up, but a lot of people are looking at the price of that and going, it doesn't look that much better than what my kids have now. So you have the entire market shifting to higher prices, and you have this opportunity, and $80 games. Let me not forget $80 games, and everybody's talking about it. Randy Pitchford just told people on X that, sorry, Borderlands 4 is probably going to be $80. So Borderlands 4. This is a prime opportunity, if it can be done, to get it on the market and get it to the demographic that you should be. I'm gonna say this. You guys can just push back. It's not about us anymore. It's about my 10-year-old. It's about those 6, 7, 8-year-olds. It's about those kids where the parents don't want to go out and buy a Switch because it's $400. They could buy this with 2 controllers and start buying these cheaper, better, easier family games. And there it is. So I'm hoping that what you're doing does get this over the line.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Appreciate that.
I'm not
That's
pulling
definitely
my,
how we're feeling as well.
Yeah. I'm not pulling my deposit. HTK is not pulling his deposit. I do, to be perfectly transparent, I know some of my friends that have. But
Yeah.
I'm hanging on.
That's understandable. It's
And
fine.
and if you know, I will hold on until you guys say otherwise. And if it doesn't,
Mike.
it doesn't. That's
Appreciate
it.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking
You
of
guys have been great. You guys have been great. John, you and I have had many late night sessions on that controller. So,
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
I take a little bit of pride in knowing that there's pieces of my feedback in the controller, right?
Yep,
My
absolutely.
kids get a kick out of seeing their name at the end of the couple of those games. You know,
Yeah.
as a dad, you know how that feels? I mean,
Yeah.
to
Great.
know that you guys
Yeah.
have listened to that feedback. And I do,
Yeah.
I don't post a lot in the Discord, but I do stay active in it and watch it. And yeah, there's a
Nice.
lot of that feedback going on with Amico Home that hopefully also gets translated over to the console versions.
Yeah,
of
and
games.
there are some more things that are coming soon as far as improvements for the controller and like the mobile controller in particular. Now that we got the Apple TV out, that was kind of like a big thing that I had to get out of the way before I could go back to some of the things that have been on my list for a while that I want to get into the controller and into Amico Home, that have come, you know, from people testing and making suggestions. And speaking of which, I want to shout out to George Games. He's on the chat, and he's one of my testers, and he was one of the guys I hadn't heard back yet if I could use his name, but he in the chat he said it's cool. Go ahead. So thank you, George. I don't know if you have ever mentioned
George
your
is
real name,
the
Mike, I won't
machine.
say that.
yeah,
Not AI.
Yeah.
talk about the indie dev program, huh?
No,
Yeah.
he's not the machine guy I mentioned, but he is the other guy.
He's more of a gadget.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some things with the controller. As I mentioned earlier, William Barrick, the really technical tester, has given me some information I can use to improve the communications, the throughput on the controller. I want to do that. On the Amico Home app, I want to add the section for the indie games, because our indie games guys, we have a few people in that beta program, closed beta. George is one of them. We're going to be putting their games into the Amico Home app. Originally, the idea was to have a separate app that curates the indie games, but it didn't make too much sense to try to put that much effort when there aren't a lot of them to begin with. So we're going to just put them into the Amico Home app in a section like indie games. And if it grows, you know, so big, you know, then we could maybe make a separate app or something. But we'll start them out there. So I need to add that, get that in there and ready. And a lot of people have asked for the Amico Home app itself to have something to play, because right now it's just a hub, and if you can't really play anything until you buy some games. So there are some mini games that we've developed over the course of various projects and some prototypes we've worked on that are largely played on the controller. And so I wanted to add a section to the Amico Home app that's like mini games that are just played from the Amico Home app, and they're little games that you largely play on your controller with multiple players and stuff, and with some feedback on the TV, but a lot of the action is mostly on your controller. So that's something I'm really looking forward to, because that's I really enjoy that type of thing, adding fun stuff that people are going to have fun with, that aren't such huge projects that require a whole team to do, that I can kind of do on my own in my spare time on the weekend, you know. So I'm really looking forward to that. Those are some of the new things that I actually mentioned on the latest update on the Amico roadmap, I kind of threw those in there without saying anything about it. I just put mini games in there on the Amico home app and the indie dev section. So yeah, I wanted to mention those.
Retro Dude Carl Young was wondering, so Roku TV, you basically have to get just an Amazon like 4K Max or a Fire Stick or Fire Cube to because you're not on Roku as an app, right? It's just yeah. Okay. See, if you already have a Roku, which I have a few of them down here. It's a
completely different OS, so that would be like a whole other porting effort to get the whole system working for Roku, and it doesn't look too promising from what I've looked at. So we don't have any present plans to go onto Roku. The ones that we have now are where we want it to be, and now I want to step back and do some other kinds of improvements and fixes.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about there's a few more things, quite a few more things, but we'll try to so we have the new games coming out right now on it's going to be Nintendo Switch and Steam, right? One of them was Finnegan Fox.
Yeah.
So right now there is a trailer up there right now for Finnegan Fox.
Yeah, the first trailer that went up on the coming soon page was one that I put together because you had to have a trailer as kind of one of the marketing things on there to put your game up as coming soon. So I just did like a little playthrough of the level 1. It wasn't very exciting, but it met the requirement. And then I asked you, DJC, if you could help me make a trailer, and you did.
I sent one. Let's play it, and then we'll see what you said about this.
Right.
All right, here is the trailer that I sent to John. I said, this is going to go up. The fans are going to want this right away. Oh. What do you say there, stranger? What can I get for you?
Nothing for me, thanks. Just need to rest. Been on quite the adventure.
Looks like you're quite the traveler.
I've been all over the place. I've been in the forest. I've been in the graveyard. I've been in secret caves. Did I even mention the frog?
The frog?
And I can also change seasons.
You can change seasons. Why would you need to do that?
Of course, to get out of a tight situation.
Makes sense. At least you got away from them bees.
Yeah, until the wasp comes.
The wasp?
I've been all around.
Looks like you got a lot on your plate, stranger.
I'd say this adventure's last forever.
What's your name, anyways?
Name's Finnegan.
So that was
That's gold.
And now we've lost Brad. Every time I show the fox, someone just they're done.
People just leave. Come out.
That is Emmy-winning gold right there. Is what that is.
I thought so, but no. No, I'm just
kidding. Well, so I thought it was funny too, but it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. I was just looking for a series of game highlights, kind of a reel of gameplay. so I told Chuck, Chuck, this is really cool. This will look great. This will be great on your channel. But what I really need is just some gameplay highlights. so then
wait, those cutscenes weren't in game.
no, those weren't.
I like everybody's looking to buy now.
The final product.
This channel loves Finnegan for so many different reasons, but we'll just say it's a great game.
Yeah, so then he went back and made kind of what I asked for, which was just a highlight reel of gameplay, which was really cool of him to do that. And we did all the localization for it too with subtitles in it. He put subtitles on there, and that's what is you can see right now on the coming soon page for Finnegan Fox is
Yeah, I could play that one. So this is
Yeah.
the real trailer right here. This is I believe this is the English trailer. Yeah. That spider
There we
always
go.
scares me at the end.
It's pretty creepy. But so
I don't
so
know.
that's what's up there now. But you
I
know,
don't know.
talking to Tommy and about that video, the first one, I said, it would be kind of funny to put that one on Steam. And he said, I think that would be funny too. It's like, why don't we do that? Why don't we put that up there? I mean, it's weird, and people would say, what the heck is this? So yeah, we decided we'd like to put that up there if you're okay with that, Chuck. Put it as one of the
Yes,
trailers.
I am.
There we go.
Before we can get Finnegan knowledge. Finnegan knowledge. Thank you.
Yes.
Nice.
There
That
we
is
go.
neat. Yeah. You'd be famous, Chuck.
As the only one on the screen with advisory in their name, let me just say, no.
Nice. That's nice.
But hey, any way I could push Finnegan, and then next we're getting into. So you added on roadmap biplanes coming sometime soon.
Yeah, I added that to the list of future games. That's one that's really ready to be the next game that we bring to Amico home and possibly to other platforms. So I put that on there because I feel we're far enough along in the process with that game that I felt comfortable throwing that on there as coming soon. We don't have a date for it yet, but it's
Right.
as I described to people on the Discord before, that we had a lot of games that were like very close to done, or some of them done already, and some of them less done for the console. And so when we started doing Amico Home, in order to get games out quickly, we focused on the ones that were like basically done already, and we just had to port them, which ended up being more work than I thought it was going to be as far as dealing with mobile and all their requirements and things. But so we got those games, and the next batch of games were the ones that needed, very little work. They were 90% done, and so then we got those in. And then there's the ones that need a little more work or had some major features that we really wanted that were missing. So that's kind of how we're doing it, so that we can get more games out sooner, without spending a lot of money. So Biplanes is kind of next on that list, and it's a really great game. It's fun to play, and I think it's going to do really well. So yeah, I threw that on there as a coming soon in the future.
I know a few people were asking about, I'm just throwing these names out here. I know this is not anything that's ready or whatever, but just stuff that back on during the Amico console, like trailer way back, was like the Night Stalker, the Cloudy Mountain, the Moon Patrol, stuff like that. Are those like still things that are considered, or are you trying to just kind of work on the current stuff right now?
Well, those are things that we still have agreements to have those, like in particular Night Stalker, made for Amico, but they're kind of more in the hands of the developers to when they create those games, they're going to create a version for Amico. We had a version very early on that you saw in the trailers for the console, but the issue was that was not developed with the Unity engine. That's a custom engine that they used, and so they had to write their own custom interface to the controller protocol that we had. And that protocol has evolved over time as we were developing the console. It changed a lot. So after a while, that game would only work with older versions of the controller, and then basically it stopped working after a while. No longer worked on the console rev, the OS, the firmware for the console and the controller. So they were going to have to redo that in order to kind of keep it up to date, and that just never happened. And so at this point, I really hope that we get that game, because it was really cool when we were able to play it. It was a lot of fun. Sometimes I would just go play that for a break, if I was at work, and I would just go play it on the console because it's just so much fun. So we still hope to see those games come to Amico console and Amico home possibly.
Oh, pool was the other one. I used to love. I played the pool one, and I fell in love with that right away, man. That is such a fun game.
Yeah, I really wanted to bring that one to Amico home as well, because that was one of the ones that's like kind of in the category of very close to done. Not too much we wanted to change on those, but I can't really go into the details, but the developer isn't able to develop that for us.
Oh, okay.
At this point. So I'd love to get a pool game though onto Amico, because it's just a lot of fun, and especially if the physics is good, which that game had a really good pool physics. So yeah, we'll have to look for the solution for that niche, and as far as a pool game. But yeah.
And the other one was that I had a chance to play way back was Armor Battle.
Yeah,
it was very early, but
yeah.
That's one that I was a big Armor Battle guy.
That came up on the
OG.
Discord discussion because the developer has put that on Steam. So we would like to get that on Amico home and ultimately on the console as well. So we just need to talk to them and work something out. As I mentioned on the Discord when it came up, for every game that we put on there, we need to go to the developer and make an arrangement, because Amico home was not contemplated when we made the original contracts with the developers to develop an Amico console game. And so we need to go back to them and get their permission and maybe pay them some money or have them finish up the work. And so we would have to do that with the Armor Battle game as well, and because they've put in more work into it from the time that we were paying them to work on it. So we made an investment. They did a certain amount of development, but then after that, we basically ran out of the money, like I said, and so they went ahead on their own dime and continued developing it to put it out on Steam. So they've done a lot of put their own investment in it. So we'd have to come to some kind of agreement to get it onto Amico home. So that is one that's on the list as well to try to do. But we haven't contacted them yet about it. So maybe they'll hear this and reach out to us. But at some point we will get in touch with them.
Speaking of, just a couple more things. I don't want to keep everyone here like for 5 hours or anything, but let's talk a little bit about who and what is Happy Home Games.
Yeah. So as it mentions in the announcement, Happy Home Games is a sister company that's focused on taking Amico games and porting them as native ports to other platforms. So the games on the Switch are not using the Amico controllers, the mobile controllers or hardware controllers. They're adapted to use the Joy-Cons. And you can play multiplayers with Joy-Cons. And on Steam, it's adapted to use the keyboard and mouse. And if you plug in a game controller, you can use game controllers. So they're adapted specifically to the platform. So they're not really Amico games anymore. At that point, they're just those games on other customized for other platforms. So we wanted to, for branding purposes, kind of delineate for the customer that these are different from Amico games and have a different, but have a brand name, a name that still kind of resonates with our mission of family-friendly, games. So we came up with Happy Home Games and created that company to exploit our content and port it and market it and publish it on other platforms as native ports, and potentially to do other games that aren't Amico games that might fit that niche, that wouldn't necessarily be good Amico games, but might be good family-friendly games, to put out under that brand. So that's what Happy Home Games is.
And for Amico Home, like what's next for Amico Home? I know the goal. Well, I'll let you talk about it. The main goal next, what that would be.
Yeah, actually, I touched on it already earlier when I was talking about the controllers and improvements. Controllers. I also mentioned the Amico Home app itself and wanting to add the indie dev section and the minigame section to that as the main thing. And then the other thing, which is also on the roadmap, is having online leaderboards as supported by Amico Home. And we've done work on the back end to support that, and there's work to do on the front end to make that possible. So that's on the list as well. But I'm not sure. I think I would do the other two things I mentioned first. They're a little bit easier, and I think there would be a lot of fun to have the mini games, and I definitely want to get ready for the independent developer games on there. So yeah, with the online leaderboard games, the idea there is to have that be an opt-in, that you actually have to go onto the Amico Club site to opt in and get a code. So we will know that basically it's sort of a parental control kind of thing. Like you have to make an account and stuff like that on the website, and then you can take that code and use it on the Amico Home to then allow your leaderboard scores to be reported to the cloud, where we keep track of them. Nice. And then the idea is to be able to form your own like leaderboard clubs on the Amico Club site, and have your friends invite them, give them a code, they can join your club. So then you can see, have competitions with your friends. It's not really meant so that you can compete with the world. That's never what we wanted to do with online.
That's what I was going to ask, because there's not really any plan for like online multiplayer for anything.
No,
it's more or less just leaderboards to kind of show everybody's best score. And okay. So Retro Dude Carl Young and a few other people were saying, like I said, I'm having a problem with this chat. It's all shrunk down, and StreamYard's freaking out. But talking about, a lot of people are talking about, is it ever possible that app would work on an Atari VCS? You may have touched on this, but
well, it's possible. I think, are they Linux based? I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Debian.
Yeah. So it's possible because our games are Unity based, and Unity does build for Linux, so it could happen if we wanted to do that and they wanted to have it. But we'd have to decide if it's a worthwhile investment, because it does take time and money to do those.
Right, and you guys want to get going and make strive towards controllers and stuff like that.
I will say though, as part of Team VCS, there is a small but mighty, group of people that would buy every single one of those games.
Would you buy each of the games 10 times?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
So
remember, you are talking to one of maybe 3 or 4 individuals that I know of personally that own every single Atari VCS release.
Wow, nice.
We're over 200 games. I own them all.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's impressive.
That's $60-$70 right there. So we're on our way. We're on our way, man.
Yeah.
I mean, guaranteed.
Yeah.
And also guaranteed, I have to fund for 5 of them too, because that's another thing that I do. So yeah, see, and Television Gamer, he's got a few VCSs.
I got a VCS.
Kraz has a few. I know.
I have yours.
I have a VCS.
There's people all over.
Your original.
I got a bunch of games.
Yeah.
I got a bunch.
One. DGC has one, I think.
I have the one.
You got the one that Creep sent you, don't you?
So Creep, I think, refurbished this.
That's mine. That's mine. That's the one that survived the flood.
I have the card for it and everything. I'm trying to get through I have so much in television content.
Yeah,
Turbo graphics. It's coming. It's coming soon.
Yeah, has one. Mike Hayes in the chat has one. Wait, I'm telling you, there's an army.
There's someone. They said what? Someone wants to say hello. Hold on. I think it's a news feed. I don't know what's going on here. Hi, everybody. It's me, Finnegan. Hi, John. I'm your guy's character on this channel. There's got to be something wrong with that. I don't know where that. Can we cut that feed? I don't understand what was happening there.
Who's running the camera on that? Is that Art Bigfall?
Yeah, right.
I tell you what, if it God, friggin' StreamYard's so messed up right now.
So I've got a question though before we go, because I have like all of these things turned on. Can I hit a button and play some Evil right now?
Oh, you want to show?
Oh yeah, let's show off.
Play Evil all night.
This is on. I know. I'm sorry. This is Apple TV, right?
No, we're going to Steam. This is the Steam version.
Oh, this is Steam.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you pop it up, dude. I got you. We're gonna get you.
Oh, there we go.
So Rich has this because he's the tester on the game. So the testers have
that's
copies.
not right there.
We need me.
Yeah, here we go. Solo.
There we go.
God, I still need one of those
play.
coffee mugs.
Let's play some Evil Knievel. I'm gonna hit my head.
Whoa! Oh,
there we
I
go.
didn't think you were even gonna make that. We're not hearing any sound from that. Is that?
Oh, is it too low?
You might have to turn it up a bit. Yeah, I can't really hear it.
I can try. I can try to turn it on there.
I'm still gonna say you need in-level music.
I was asked
talking
about
about
that
that.
earlier before the show if Rich thought that would improve the game, and he didn't think so.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm always down for the option. Like if it's
better?
good music,
level,
I'll jam out to it. I like that.
Is that better or too
in-level
loud?
music. Not the between, the in level. As soon as the level starts, the music cuts.
Yes.
Can you
Only
guys
guys
hear it?
knew a person that did
Just
music.
faintly, I can hear it. It's kind of low.
Yeah.
Right. You want me to turn it up a little more?
Maybe the sound effects. Yeah. That's cool.
All right.
No, you're not the only person that's asked for that, Mike, to have music in the levels. So, I don't know. Maybe it's something we should consider. I think the developer didn't do that because they wanted players to hear the sounds, which are kind of a cue as to kind of how fast you're going or the revving of the engine and all that.
Which you could.
This is just you purchase the individual game on Steam, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he hasn't purchased it yet because it's not available for
Right,
sale.
it's not available yet, but this is
But it will be, yeah. Whoa.
God, it's so much fun playing this.
And the best part is the crashes when you're playing with other people.
Oh
you know,
yeah, oh
the
just the
whiteout is so
ragdoll,
funny.
man.
Like
Oh,
that.
there you go.
Oh,
Oh,
Ah,
no,
there
he
you go.
almost pulled it off. Nice. Have you tried multiplayer on this in this motorcycle mode, Rich?
I have, and it's
Okay.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
You've got the kind of pass the controller method on the game.
There we go.
There you go. There you guys are.
And
Hey,
the
Rich,
StreamYard is really jacked right now.
Yeah.
Rich, quick question. When you are testing this, do you get to level 2?
So I get to level 2. This is level.
Wow.
This is level 4.
Oh, Rich is like the champion at this.
I've beaten the game multiple times. Oh, crap.
Oh no.
Oh, as he and breaks his
Wow.
front axle there.
Oh, this is not good. That's
Fire
not good.
today.
All right, here. Let's go to a different level. There, look.
I love the rocket cycles. Though to me, I could play. Me and my buddy could play that all day. Where you're just either falling into the canyon or you're just breaking your face on the.
So someone in the chat asked if Amico Home is on Steam or it's just the games. It's just the games, and they are direct native ports using PC controls, not the Amico controller. And as I was describing earlier, that's the point of Happy Home Games, to be the banner, the publisher for those for those direct ports.
Save enough for that next bike.
Very nice.
Are we looking at like what? I know you don't really have a date, but it's I know it's up there. It's just waiting to be released. So it's what are we saying? Like a couple months, like summertime or?
Well, we're hoping June. I mean, that's what we put in the announcement. Probably mid to late June.
Yeah. Yeah, it's your rocker worm saying that's. I get it when it's need to focus to turn the music down.
Oh,
Or explode. It exploded. That's why it's a part of Galaxy Quest. We goes, it turned inside out, then it exploded.
Yeah.
I'm just so used to the Amico controller with just using the gyro.
Yeah, this here with the keyboard and mouse on this one is like it's a little this
different.
one is I'd rather have the controller on this particular level.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's motion control. It's a motion control game. You know, that's what's.
Yeah.
There you go. That's looking good.
Oh,
you deployed too soon.
Early. I hit the button too early.
Sploosh.
I keep forgetting that if you hold down the keyboard, you keep getting inputs. We'll try one more, and then we'll go back to
it. Hasselhoff asks, is Happy Home looking to release on GOG 2 for PC?
I think we had talked about the Epic Game Store, and GOG would be a possibility too, but we wanted to just kind of get it out on Steam first and then look at other options afterward.
Hey, take care, George. George Games.
See you, man.
See you, George.
Hey, George.
Now you're talking. Oh, deploy. Oh, it's too late.
Yeah, I missed it. Coming in. Still hit the target.
No, it's just off. Well, you got some points though. That's good.
That's good.
Cool.
Can he get it through? Get across? I always wanted to drive there to see because I guess the target's still there.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
That's
wherever
rad.
they said that's located. Was it Indiana or Virginia?
Can you see it on Google Maps?
Ooh, that'd be
cool, right?
That would be cool.
I love in multiplayer when everyone just starts like holding down, and then like two of them explode because
or they hit each other midair,
and then you just see like pieces of see a helmet fly off. You're like, is that his hand?
Oh, that's looking pretty good. That's better.
100.
Yeah,
I'll take 100 points.
Nice.
That's good. That's good.
I don't think I've put this in front of anybody who hasn't played that mode for like an hour with us and go, oh crap, all right, one more and then I really have to go home. All right, no, one more and then I really have to go home.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were playing this.
The key is that it's such a short turnaround cycle, and you get close, you think, oh, just a little adjustment and I'll do better next time. So you just kind of keep going.
Oh my goodness, he's on fire.
He's on fire.
Boom shakalaka. I was waiting for your face to hit that right there.
Oh yeah, I do that often. It's just like, oh man, right on there. Come on. Oh,
I should give a shout out to my son Max, who has been working with me on these games. He did a lot of work to get Evel Knievel onto Amico Home, and Finnegan Fox especially too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a graduate last year from Colorado University of Mines, or School of Mines as they call it. It's a fairly prestigious engineering university, and he graduated in computer science and started doing work for me, and has just really been so tremendous with helping me get these games out, that I don't know what I'd do without him. So shout out to Max.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome.
Here it is.
I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Oh, you got it. Oh no.
Oh, hey, I call that a win. I call that a win.
That's great.
They should have let you. You went over it. Like that should have been just.
That's
it wasn't
right.
The photo.
Well,
And
I
it
didn't
was
have
a
enough.
photo
I
finish.
didn't have enough time to get the completion to get the next stage unlocked either. So, like, you can get the jump and then still like not make it. When you're chasing the the other medals though, that's when it gets really crazy. You're chasing your when you're chasing the golds.
Oh, that was kind of neat. You were on fire, but you were able to kind of.
I didn't have enough.
As long as you stay on the bike, he'll put himself out.
Yeah, well, and as you upgrade too, it's
your bike
you can
is
actually go
better.
through those things no problem, because if you upgrade your strength, strength allows you to take more hits and not fall off the bike. So you can just you can basically like level up.
That was a good one right there.
All right, you're doing pretty good. Oh, really good. You've got some good momentum going.
Oh,
nice. We got this. We got this. We got it.
Woo!
Oh, that was beautiful.
All right, now we finally unlocked the next stage. Jump some sharks.
Hey, Rickster 8 Retro Gaming said I just bought the OG Hugo controller for the NT2, so that was me 3 minutes ago. Well, thank you, sir. That's very nice of you. Oh wow, the pipes on the crates, man. So now, what type of controller are you using? Obviously, it's not an Amico controller. So, what is it? Just a
right now, I'm just using straight keyboard and mouse.
Oh, you're using keyboard. Oh my god! Oh my god, your ass is on fire.
He's on fire.
Oh, I get so scared for your face right there. Oh, whoa! Both the wheels came off
on that one. Yeah.
You drove it till the wheels fell off.
It's all good. It's all good. So the good news is, like, there's, even after beating this game several times, there's still challenge.
Have you gotten all the trophies, the top trophies?
On the
That's
original,
not gonna do it.
The original iOS version of the release,
nice.
I have every gold trophy for every stage.
Shoot,
that
is no easy feat. There you go, sharks.
Oh, nice.
So you gotta make sure you gotta make sure you also hit the red when you come down too, because if you hit the yellow on the other side,
if you overshoot, you're done.
You overshoot, and then no matter what happens, you fall. So you don't want that either. But yeah, this game's rad, and it's like it's great to just like play around with. It's also great like to throw on a big TV and during a party. Like it's a good time.
Cool. Thanks for demoing that, Rich.
Yeah,
that is really awesome, man. We'll let you finish this. This run here.
Yeah, I have to grind for a new bike after this stage anyway.
That's a lot of sharks in there.
Bang. And there it is.
Chuck, can you do a video demo for this where you're dressed up as one of the sharks?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The next one, I think I need to perform some stunts for you guys. And I know you've heard of Evil Knievel. You've heard of Super Dave. Have you heard of me on doing some stunt cycle stuff? Because it's coming. It's coming soon.
All right, let me move myself out of the way here. There we go.
Rich may not be evil, but he may be evil.
Evil.
Let me get back to there. We go. Yeah, I don't know what's up with StreamYard today, man. All the menus are all weird. Like they all just kind of turned all. Anyways,
very cool.
But yeah, I think we touched everything. Is anything, John, you wanted to add that's coming up, or anything you wanted that we didn't touch base with today?
I think we kind of hit all the things that
Yeah.
were interesting to talk about. There was a few things that I wanted to hit that I got in there, and certainly talking about my testing team on Discord and showing appreciation for them was a big one for me, because it just makes a world of difference to have those guys that I can talk to and feel like we're in it together. And they're such a huge help that I just have lots of love for them.
Retro Rich Bacon Ice Cream Productions. What do you got coming up on your channel, and what crazy Fun for Fives are coming up?
Well, we've got some cool stuff coming up. We got some catch up to do over on the Atari VCS. There's been quite a lot of games that have been, dropping along the way. I think I'm 4 behind. So I got to do some of those. We've got Amico Home on Apple TV. It looks something like this. It looks just like that. And
Yeah.
So that means I gotta play. I gotta play some of
graphics.
them. So we're gonna do some Fun for Fives of all the Amico Home games on Apple TV. We're doing that, and then of course there will be at some point, actually on next Thursday. If you guys are fans of the Evercade line of products,
I've heard of them.
Blaze will be doing a new showcase on Thursday, the 28th at 4 p.m. EST. And then, of course, there'll be a news line right after that, recapping all the news. So,
good to see they're still kicking.
Absolutely. It's 5 years.
Wow.
5-year anniversary of Blaze Entertainment and Evercade. So lots more of these guys coming out very, very soon.
Nice. They're addicting to collect for.
Absolutely.
Oh, I just remembered something I wanted to mention, Chuck. It wasn't even on my list, but because we were talking about biplanes, Evel Knievel and Finnegan Fox, which are coming next month from Amico Home, are also box edition games, as is biplanes. So pretty soon we'll have 2 more box edition games out there. So people that own those we'll put them out as singles, so you can get your coupon codes for those for Google Play Store. And same for biplanes when it comes out. So yeah, that'll be good to get more of those out, so that people that supported us purchasing those box editions can get the benefit of being able to play them now on Google Play platforms.
That is awesome. Yeah. That is really great. Yeah, I've only got about 3 sets of those, so that's might be getting some more. I've got issues. Rab, normally we have you talk so much more, but we do feel like you're here in spirit when you have your mic off.
What's that? Yes.
Mike, what do you got coming up you're on Rumble, which we are both multi-streaming on both right now. We have we're on Rumble and YouTube today.
I am not.
Okay.
So tomorrow, there was another, not to derail from all the Amico news, but there was another announcement today that kind of threw me off my chair, especially since I've been kind of down on Microsoft lately for a great many things. But those who follow my channel know that we are an Antstream Arcade partner. So we do a lot of Antstream Arcade, and I play that on the Xbox. They just announced and launched it today, a collaboration with Microsoft to put out, for starters, 50 Activision, Sierra, Magic classics.
What?
Yes. Did you, dude? So it launched today for Game Pass subscribers. So I'm a Game Pass subscriber. Tomorrow night is usually my Thursday night at the arcade stream, where I do my weekly Antstream Arcade. I'm going to be doing this. I have not seen all of the games, but Atlantis and Atlantis 2 and Demon Attack are in this list. A bunch of the Activision, it's basically all Activision stuff. Pitfall 2 is there. And my understanding is Police Quest and Police Quest 2 are in there.
Really?
Amongst other games. So tomorrow night, I'm going to be doing a special, it's technically still Antstream. So I'm going to be doing a special stream there. Friday night is our Friday night with Peter and Mike. That is our yes, Cosmic Arc is also in that, and I played that on the Atari 2600 a lot. Friday nights are Friday night with Peter and Mike. That's our community stream. There's a possibility we might go back to Call of Duty because we've had a bunch of our friends go, "Hey, why aren't you playing COD anymore?" And we're like, "Well, because it sucks." But we typically get like 10 to 12 people to want to play. So we may do that Friday night. If not, we're going to do some other style of community game. Sunday night, I'm going to be starting up Doom: The Dark Ages, which just came out for Xbox and PlayStation and all that stuff, and I'm going to be playing it. And then Monday Night Retro, I haven't figured out what I'm doing yet, but I have been re-enamored with Sega Saturn thanks to my Saturn Saru card and all the games that I've put down on it. So I might be going and get back and doing that. And then Tuesday is Tuesday Night Live with Peter and I. That is our actual co-op stream where him and I both have our gameplay on stream playing together. We've been playing Dying Light 2, which has been actually quite impressive. And so we're going to be running some more of that. And Peter now, as we speak.
Can I interrupt real quick, Mike, just because I saw that Kraz is leaving and he did give me permission on Discord to mention his name. He's one of our Test Club members as well. And thank you, Kraz, for your participation and contributions. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. And actually, Peter right now has the stream. He's playing Roadcraft, which is a new game just came out. So that's what's going on over on our channel. We are damn near 6 days a week.
Yeah, I will be doing my lunchtime streams. Should be back very soon. I just got some real world stuff going on, and as well as some late streams and some Rumble Premium only streams coming. So, as well as over here on the other platform here or here where I'm both, I'm going to be doing the Astro Smash show on Wednesdays, and normally in place of this show, every once in a while, I will be trying to get some Amico Forever going. So. Next time we do this, I want to have my Amico home set up through the Mirrorbox capture, maybe play some Astro Smash and some other stuff. So we're not going away. We're just going to be more like a special. But so we're back. We're back, baby.
Cool.
So I appreciate everybody watching and just having it, because it's all about the community that comes in. Yeah, there's people that come in and yell and say we suck. I don't care. I love you guys too. I just love that the fact that, like we started, we still got 50 people like hanging in and talking. We've also got, we had up to almost 80 earlier, and it's just the people that just want to hang out and just kind of just talk. And it's like, we're all a bunch of characters in the game of life. And if we can have fun with each other for a couple hours and be entertained for a couple hours every Wednesday, then let's do it, But I do want to thank John Alvarado for stopping in and taking the time to kind of go over some things, a lot of stuff, and explain a lot of things. And and Rich is always the ultimate Amico home tester right there.
Yeah, for sure.
And Mike,
ready, man.
Mike, the OG console guy, and
Team Console,
and Rab. I think Rab may have fell asleep, or is he just? I feel bad.
He's listening intently.
He's all good.
We'll have to get Rab on when he can again, and really have a good just a good conversation, because it's always fun to listen to Rab.
Yeah. Maybe next time I can talk to you about 3DO. Some people in the chat.
Oh yeah,
you
know what?
That.
Thanks for bringing that up. I do have to set some time aside because very cool, and I'll announce this now. 3DO Thursdays will be coming back because
nice.
I just sent my console out because the disk drive started messing up. So I sent it out to Chris Courage, which mods consoles, and he's doing an optical drive where I basically put a thumb drive in and all the ROMs are on the system. There's no more CD gaming on the 3DO.
Wow.
And when I get to my first or second one I'm going to do when I get it back is Demolition Man.
Nice.
It'd be nice to have you on, or at least do an interview with you and include that for that episode.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah. So because I know me and you kind of talked here and there, you're like, oh man, this when I recorded, we were working on Demolition Man and Stallone and all this. So I'm like, I can't wait to I want to get into just any type of 3DO stuff you've ever worked on. Yeah, but we have a few 3DO fans in here that are all about it, man, all about it. And yeah, Amico 3 Life or 4 Life. But yeah, so yeah, you can be 3DO community loves.
I need a good 3DO emulator.
There's one called 4DO for the PC. Was the last one I remember was supposed to be a good one, but it's maybe, I don't know if it's outdated now, or I guess it's not really outdated because it's old tech anyways. So
optical drive emulators, man, that's where it's at.
When he said he could do that and he had to order it, but see it wasn't going to be too expensive to ship and all that stuff, and I was like, yeah, dude. So I sent it out. He just got it a couple days ago. I'm so stoked. I'm because I have there's such a place in my heart for 3DO, and we'll get into that again another time because this isn't a 3DO show. This is Amico forever. Anyways, guys, gals, someone did call for a hot dog, so we'll give you that, and then we're getting out of here. Hot dog! So thank you so much. Let's do this again. I love this, and maybe next time I'll be a little more. I'm a little rusty. Guys. I'm starting to get into it now, but now it's the end of the show. So thank you so much for showing up.
Yeah.
God bless you. See you in the next one.
Bye, everyone.
Play on, gamers.